Leviticus 25, the Sabbath year. The Lord said to Moses on Mount Sinai, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, once you enter the land that I am giving you, the land must be celebrated, a Sabbath rest to the Lord. You must plant your fields for 6 days, prune your vineyards, and gather your crops for 6 years. But on the 7th year, the land will have a special Sabbath rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. You must not plant your fields, prune your vineyards. You must not harvest the sanctuary growth of your produce, or gather the grapes of your freely growing vines. It will be a year of special rest for the land. Whatever the land produces during its Sabbath will be your food for you, for your male and female servants, and for your hired laborers and foreign guests who live with you. As well as for your livestock and for your animals in your land. All the land's produce can be eaten. The Jubilee year. Count off 7 weeks of years, that is 7 times 7, so that the 7 weeks of the total years is 49 years. Then have a trumpet blown on the 10th day of the 7th month. Have a trumpet blown throughout your land on the day of reconciliation. You will make the 15th year holy, proclaiming freedom throughout the land to all it inhabits. It will be a Jubilee year. For you, each of you must return to your family property. And to your extended family. The 15th year will be a Jubilee year for you. Do not plant, do not harvest the sanctuary, secondary growth, and do not gather from your freely growing vines, because it is a Jubilee. It will be holy to you. You can eat only the produce directly out of the field. Each of you must return to your family's property in this year of Jubilee. When you sell something or buy something from your fellow citizen, you must not cheat each other. You will buy from your fellow citizen according to the number of years since the Jubilee. He will sell to you according to the number of years left for the harvest. You will raise and the price, if there's more years, or lower the price. If there's less years, because it is the number of years harvest that is being sold to you. You must not cheat each other, but fear your God, because I am the Lord your God. You will observe my rules, and you will keep my regulations and do them, so that you can live securely on the land. Verse 19. Food during the following years. The land will give you its fruit that you can eat your fill and live securely on it. Suppose you ask, what will you eat in the seventh year if we don't plant or gather our crops? I will send you blessings upon the sixth year, so that it will make enough produce for 3 years. You can plant again in the eighth year and eat the food from the previous year's produce until the ninth year, until its produce comes. You will eat the fruit from the previous year. Buying back the family property. The land must not be permanently sold, because the land is mine. You can just imagine the foreign guests of mine throughout the whole land that you proposes. You must allow for the land to be bought back. When one of your fellow Israelites faces financial difficulty and must sell part of their family property, the closest relative will come and buy back their fellow Israelite has sold. If the person doesn't have someone to buy it back, but then manages to afford to buy it back, they must calculate the year since its sale and refund the balance to the person to whom they sold it. Then it will go back to the family property. If they cannot afford to make a refund to the buyer, whatever was sold will remain in the possession of the buyer until the Jubilee year. It will be released in the Jubilee year, at which point it will be returned to the family property. Verse 29. When a person sells a home in a walled city, it may be bought back until a year after it's sold. The period of buying it back will be 1 year. If it is not bought back before the full year has passed, the house in the walled city will belong to the buyer permanently, and their descendants forever. It will not be released at the Jubilee. But houses in the settlements that are unwalled will be considered as if they were country fields. They can be bought back, and they must be released at Jubilee. Verse 32. Levites will always have the right to buy back homes in Levite cities that are part of their family property. The Levite property that can be bought back, houses sold in the city that is their family property, must be released at Jubilee, because homes in the Levitical cities are the Levites' family property among the Israelites. But the pastoral land around the cities cannot be sold, because that is their permanent family property. Poor Israelites and slavery. Verse 35. If one of your favorite fellow Israelites faces financial difficulty and is in a shaky situation with you, you must assist them as you would an immigrant or a foreign guest, so that they can survive among you. Do not take interest from them or any kind of profit from interest, but fear your God, so that your fellow Israelite can survive among you. Do not lend a poor Israelite money with interest, or lend food at a profit. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to give you Canaan land, and to be your God. Verse 39. If your fellow Israelites faces financial difficulty with you and sells themselves to you, you must not make him work as a slave. Instead, they will be like your hired labor or foreign guest to you. They will work for you until the Jubilee year, at which point the poor Israelites, along with their children, will be released from you. They can return to their extended family and their family property. Verse 42. You must do this because these people are my servants. I bought them out of the land of Egypt's land. They must not be sold as slaves. You will not harshly rule over them, but must fear your God. Regarding male and female slaves, that you are allowed to have. You can buy a male or female from the nation that are around you. You can also buy them from foreign guests who live with you, from their extended families that are with you, who were born in your land. These can belong to you as property. You can pass them to your children and inheritance that they can own as permanent property. You can make these people work as slaves, but you must not rule harshly over your own people, the Israelites. Verse 47. If an immigrant or foreign guest proposes financially among you, but your fellow Israelite faces financial difficulty and so sells themselves to the immigrant or foreign guest, or to a descendant of a foreigner, the Israelites will have the right to be bought back after they sold themselves. One of their relatives can buy them back. Their uncle or cousin can buy them back. One of their blood relatives from their family can buy them back, or they may be able to afford their own purchase. The Israelites will calculate with their owner the full time from the year they were sold until the Jubilee year. The price of their release is based on the number of years they were with the owner, as in the case of hired labor. If there are many years left before Jubilee, the Israelite will pay for their purchase in proportion to their purchase price. If there's only a few years left, they will calculate and pay for their purchase according to the years of service. Regardless of the Israelites will be the buyer like a yearly laborer. The buyer must not harshly rule over them in your sight. If the Israelite is not bought back in the one of these ways, they and their children must be released in the Jubilee year. Verse 55. Because of the Israelites belong to me as servants. They are my servants. I brought them out of Egypt's land. I am the Lord your God. Thank you for listening to this long chapter, and God bless.